This podcast is for my final evaluation question, which is: how did you use media technologies in the construction, research and planning and evaluation stages? In this podcast, I'll be showing you a range of technologies I use, which include iShowU, Blogger, YouTube, GarageBand, iMovie, Photoshop, and then all the little ones I use to present it and get audience feedback. First off with iShowU, all you simply do is press record, which is on the right hand side of the app, and then the camera follows your mouse around the screen so you can easily show your blog and everything else. This is how I'm actually doing it. Then at the end, all you have to do is stop it and it will appear in the bottom right hand side, and you can drag that and upload it to YouTube and iMovie, which I'll be doing next. The next big technology I use is Blogger, and I've been using this throughout the whole of my AS and A2 year. When you first click on it, it has the number of page views, so you can see who's been viewing your page and what days. But all you have to do is click on posts, and it will come up with all the posts that you've done, with the days and when you publish them, or whether they're a draft. If we scroll back up to the top, you can click the new post button and it will just basically create a new post for you. Then the first thing I do is I'll title it, and this is usually research and planning, and then what specifically I'm doing. This will come up on your blog as the title, just naming the post so it's easy for whoever's looking at your blog to navigate around. Next, you just type away as normal, and with this you can change the font, the size, whether it's bold or italic, underlined, highlighted, where you actually center your text, just as you would do on any other normal Word application. Another thing you can do on Blogger, which is really useful, is you can put links into your page and you can link it through from certain texts. So I tend to link through Elisa's blog if we're doing something joined, or at least I do at the very beginning of my blog. So all you do is you type the web address in, and then if I just give it a name and post it, then when you actually go on my blog, you'll be able to click this link and it will take you over to it. This is just an example of me showing how you do it, but it's very useful to have, as it will take you over to other people's pages or websites. Another thing you can do on Blogger is add files. So I usually post something to YouTube, I'll click on the one I want and select it like so. So now if I were to post that, it would just come up with a piece of footage that I've already done as a post. I can also do this with pictures, and you do basically exactly the same. You select the one that you want, click it, choose, then once it's uploaded you press select, and it will just come up on your blog. And again, you can change the size of this, link it to something, and position it in a certain place. One of the final things that I tended to do on Blogger is you can schedule posts, so you select a day and a time, and if you've completed that post, then it'll upload it for you. This is really useful if you're going away somewhere, or if you just don't have a chance to upload automatically. This is just an update of my blog from this moment in time. This is a Flickr page. I uploaded some photos to Flickr and then analysed them. I've also uploaded SurveyMonkey screenshots, identity footage, and the trailer updates, which is just a big piece of description. Next up we have YouTube, and all you do is type in the web address. You have to be signed in with a Google account, but you're already with Blogger. So if you go on my channel, you'll just be able to see some of the videos I've uploaded, which are podcasts, pieces of footage, my sneak peek, and then identity so far. YouTube is really easy to use, and once you've uploaded something, you can automatically share it into Blogger. but you can also share it on all these other applications, and it can give you the embedded or traditional code for it. All you have to do to actually upload one is click upload, select files to upload, then select the file you want to. So if you press choose, and it will come up with this, uploading it, then you give it a name, a description, and then simply let it process and publish it. Next up is GarageBand. This is an example that I made for my GarageBand challenge right at the beginning of the year. If you scroll across, you can just see the process of how the song plays out. This was just a test to do with what music you would associate with a thriller. To add different compositions and sound effects, you simply click on the bottom left-hand button, then select and drag what you want into your GarageBand music. You can place it where you want, adjust the sound so it's quieter or louder than the other elements. Also, if you select a track, you can go on edit and split. So then if you scroll back down, then you can see I've split the clip, and you can move, drag, delete which parts of the clips you want into the places you want them. These are all the sound effects that they have on GarageBand. They have animals, people, impacts, and all you do is scroll down, select which ones you want, maybe listen to them before dragging them in to where you want them to be in your GarageBand. One of the final things I found really useful on GarageBand was the track volume, and all you do is separate it so you can adjust where and when you want the volume of a certain track to raise and dip. So if we were to listen to it back, it would obviously go up and down throughout. This is really good when you want to fade in things like police sirens, so it's not just a sudden impact in your trailer, and I just found it really useful. Next up we have iMovie, and if I just go back, you can see all the projects I've done. Clicking on Identity, this is the actual trailer that we're working on at the moment. As you can see all the different clips, editing transitions and sound effects that we've added to it. Going back, I'm just gonna go on footage from the 14th so I can show you how to insert these transitions and music, etc. First off, when you've inserted a clip like I already have, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute, you can drag and select, then split the clip so you can move it into different areas of the trailer. This is really useful for a trailer like ours, as there's lots of straight and jump cuts as to where we want bits of footage to go. If I press D, then this comes up, and you can specifically edit the footage that you want. So for example, video effect, and they've got many different effects that we can use. We tend to use the day into night one, which is like a dark blue enigma tone. Next is the sound, and again they have many different sound effects that you can use, like Cosmic Robot. We tended to use muffled, that was the most relevant on some scenes. You can also adjust the speed of the clip here by dragging the tool, or specifically entering the number of how long a second you want the footage to be. If you click on video, you can also adjust the exposure, brightness and contrast, saturation, and actually put a special effect of like a specific colour you want by the bottom one. I tended to use the colour blue as that's popular in thrillers and it's very genre related. Here are two screenshots just to show you the before and after effect and how it completely changes the mood and tone of the actual trailer by making these simple changes. To insert footage that you want to use, you go on File, Import, and then you just pick the footage that you want, press Import, and it will appear in the bottom box here. This is really easy and simple to do. To insert music, you just click on the music button, then you can drag it from your iTunes, and you just place a song where you want it. You can adjust the time of the audio, and you can again add an audio effect, and we tended to use a muffled one. You can also adjust the volume, the ducking, and another thing I found really useful was the fade in and out, as it was another way of making the music run smoother and not clash with each other either. Adding text is very similar to music, as you just select and drag. There's many different centered, zoom, and different backgrounds. Then you just type in what text you want. Another really useful thing about the text is you can actually click and select and then drag it across so it appears in your actual footage. We didn't use this in our trailer, but it's a really good for the trailers. You can also change the manual so it won't fade in, or you can make it fade in more. Again, transitions are very similar. You can get cross blur, zoom, ripple, fade to white to black, all sorts. We tend to use the fade to black as it's the most natural and probably thriller related. You drag it in and then you can change how long you want it to be for, or again the style you want. This is really useful for long fades out that we have in the beginning of the trailer, as it moves much slower to the actual end. To share your trailer, you just press share, then export movie. You can title it and then save it to your desktop and wait for it to export, and that's basically it. We also used Final Cut, which I don't actually have on this computer, so I can't really show you, to edit part of our trailer. The only bit we used this for was the beginning with the webcam overlay with Danny, because this effect wasn't on iMovie. It was really easy to use on Final Cut, and actually gives our trailer quite a unique trait. The last main technology I use is Photoshop, and I use this for my poster and magazine. All the layers are on the right hand side, as you can see when I scroll down. If you double click on my main photo, one of the main things I've done throughout all my magazine is use drop shadows and outer glow shadows. All you do is you can change the opacity, the spread, the size, and the colour of them. So my colour is, the theme of my magazine is sort of a blue, white and black. So I changed the outer glow to a blue to make it more relatable with the rest of my magazine and help the character stand out, so it's more of a focal image. I also use drop shadows and afterglow on a number of my texts, so for example the title Identity. By using the drop shadow and blue afterglow, it really highlights and brings out the text, making it much more clear and visible for the audience to see, as well as exciting them much more. Another key tool I use in Photoshop is the text tool. For example, what I'm doing now, you just type something in and then you actually move it on your layers so it appears in front of the photo. You can see I've done this, so my photograph is in front of the Final Cut. I'm also changing it to the basic title font to give you, to show you what font I used for my Identity and Murder Has Many Faces. Instead of putting in the actual size, I tend to just drag it up and down and diagonal to get the right size and like the depth that I want it to be. For example, like the majority of my text is quite thin on my magazine, so that's why I use that. Another tool I use on Photoshop is the brightness and contrast adjustments. I purposely use these to grim up my photo to make it more thriller genre related. If it was bright, then it would convey more messages of being happy. I also adjust the colour balance, so by making it have a bit of a blue or green tint, it again reflects the genre, whereas if it was like yellow or pink, it would much more reflect a genre of being happy and romantic. Moving on from my main technologies, my next technology I'm using is SlideShare. It's where you share PowerPoints online, so it's just easy to import into Blogger. All you do is select them from your desktop and wait for them to upload. You've got to give them a category, which I usually put under education, then a brief description, tags, keep it public, and then name the PowerPoint you're uploading. Once you've done this, you just save and continue. To show you an example, I'm going on my uploads to show you just a PowerPoint that I've uploaded before. This one is my publication plan from really early on in my research and planning to do with my trailer. Once it's uploaded, you can just go through it like a normal PowerPoint, and then at the bottom it will have your embedded code, so you can easily embed that into your Blogger and publish it. Another technology I used was Prezi. This is just an online presentation app that just makes cool presentations basically. If I go on one I've already done, all you basically do is create templates, and then you can easily add photos, text, change the text like you could with any other sort of Word document. Then right at the end, once you've finished it, you post it, and then you can share the embedded code and add it into your Blogger and publish it. Flickr is another technology that I use, and all it is you upload photographs of either your magazine, poster, basically whatever you want, and then you can add a description below, and it's just another way of presenting photographs basically. So you can, once you've uploaded it, you can give it a name. So I'm just going to label this colour difference, and then you can add a description just about the photo and what it shows, basically analysing what it is and why it is like that. Here are a few examples that I've already uploaded. So these are screenshots of a SurveyMonkey, and basically me saying how this response has helped me and what it means for my trailer and poster and magazine. Next I have SurveyMonkey, which where you just make online surveys that you can ask people to fill out anonymously. All you do is give it a title and then select a category, which again I usually put under education, before pressing let's go. This takes you onto a page where you can get many different layouts like multiple choice, Dropbox, ranking. I tend to go with multiple choice or your own description, so comment box. These are just the basic simple ones. With multiple choice, you just type in your question before giving them a range of options that they would have to pick. Once you've done, you can either preview it like so, so you can just see how it will look and what they can select to make sure you've not made any mistakes before actually publishing it. Once you've done this, and once some people have actually completed it, you can look at the response you got. So you can go through all the questions and see what people commented or replied or just answered, then analyse it and pop it onto your blog. Another form of technology I use on my blog in research and planning is VoiceThread. All you do is you upload a photo, and then from this you can comment on it by texting and actually recording your voice. You can also put arrows and circle things so your audience know exactly what you're talking about, and it's just really useful for analysing certain elements that you specifically want to talk about. After you've done this, you just press share and use the embedded code to put it on your blog. I use the website Make a GIF to compare a number of photos, so if I just select those two, you place them in the order you'd want them and then simply press continue. Then you can change how fast you want your GIF to flash, then give it a name, maybe a brief description, tag, and press suitable for all ages before pressing create your GIF. This will just basically make a GIF of what you want to show, and it's really easy for you to upload onto your blog, as you just save it as a JPEG. Then insert it to your blog post like you would with any other photo by just pressing the photo button. I use SoundCloud to upload pieces of audio I'd created, for example my garage band challenge for my thriller conventions. Once this is uploaded, you can copy the embedded code onto your blog just like anything else, and it'll come up when you post the post onto Blogger. Regarding social media, I tend to use Facebook, Twitter and Tumblr to get audience feedback, but I'm only going to show you Twitter. All you do is press new tweet and basically write the tweet on what audience feedback or any other aspect you want to use Twitter for. You can also add photos with this, where you just select them from your desktop or wherever else you've got them. I'm just going to show you an example that I've already posted. You just wait for it to load. So here I uploaded the identity poster asking for audience feedback, saying what genre they thought it was and what they actually liked about it. I also used the website TwitLonger, which is basically where you can develop a tweet into a longer, basically a paragraph, so you can get more into it, and you just give it a name, a title, then you post it on your Twitter. And now if I go back onto my Twitter, it will come up with a tweet, and it will say the title and then a link to the paragraph that you want people to read. So basically you can actually have a really detailed response and questions given to and from the audience. To transfer videos to and from my desktop from home and college so I can edit, I used WeTransfer, where you basically type in your email, and then I also typed in my email as my friend's email and added the files that I wanted to send over. This made editing a lot quicker and easier, as I could edit things like my trailer and podcasts at home. The final technology I used was a camera. This isn't the Canon DSLR that we use in college. This is my camera, but just showing you how to quickly use it. All you have to do is make sure it's switched over to the filming mode, press record, and then record the shots you want. They're really easy to pan and tilt. The only problem we had was tracking, but that didn't really appear much in our trailer. After you finish recording, to get the footage, these little flaps in the side where you can plug the cable in to connect it to the computer, and you just transferred it over to iPhoto, where you could then import it into iMovie or Final Cut.